Opsys360.
It's not just building a strategy and doing some planning. You actually have to get involved with the execution yourself. I've been quite successful be the middleman between very technical people and very senior people.
Vocatio is our podcast highlighting our professionals who are keen to take part in your challenges. In this podcast, we explore their career path and added value. We also offer at the end of each episode an HR summary of their profile. Today, we focus on Stefan, who knows how to combine technology and finance to great effect. Good afternoon, Stefan. Today we are here to know a little bit more about you and your career. First question that we want to ask you is, for each period of change in your career path, can you explain why you made the choice you did?
I started out in the financial markets for Swiss Bank Corporation in London. That was my passion at the time. But during my years with Swiss Bank Corporation, I discovered an interest in the technology side of the whole trading financial markets. So that took me into a financial software company where I worked very closely with customers, basically developing new applications in this software. And in fact, during that time with the customers, I discovered that I liked working with customers as well. So that led me into their customer support department, which I then ran for a number of years. And I really enjoyed this, solving problems for customers. Unfortunately, there was a change in the ownership of this company, and the focus changed from customers to cash flow. And I decided to move on. I joined a startup in Switzerland where I could use this financial software skills.
So the two first company was big company, I think, or?
So Swiss Bank Corporation was
Yes.
100,000 people or something.
So why choose to go from big companies to startup and move from one country to another one?
It's a tough question. I really enjoyed working with Swiss Bank. I have to say that after 10 years in London, I felt that I needed to try something else. And sort of a coincidence, I met these people from this software startup, which was in the south of France. And I thought I'd give it a try. Change of scene, change of job. But still doing very similar things, working with similar people and solving the same kind of problems. It was a young company in the commodity and energy market. I stayed there for a long time, 13 years. I built the infrastructure. I ran the finance department and the operations. After 13 years, you could feel that you stopped learning so much. So I took a new challenge with a hedge fund that was really struggling. And I deconstructed a very sort of complex IT infrastructure. And that was done basically after 12 months, and we outsourced the remaining bits. Then I moved on to another startup in the data sustainability or sustainability data sector, where I was able to use all my skills. So IT, customer support, and cybersecurity, which I picked up along the way.
Can you explain me in some sentences what you do exactly?
So my current mission has been to set up a corporate IT infrastructure for a startup with about 50 people, everybody working remotely. That was sort of the first thing I had to do. On top of that, the founders of this startup were 4 very large companies that were very cyber security focused, and they came up with a list of 350 items in cybersecurity that they wanted implemented in a startup. So I did this. It took a while, and I don't know any other startups who would go to that extent. So that was on the technology side. Then parallel to that, I set up the customer support department, basically setting up the principles of how you run a customer support department, the tools, the processes.
Okay, great. So all was more in the background technology field, create the ground in order to the company to be successful at the end.
To be able to work and just not worry about security, and then also getting ready for new customers, basically.
Okay, great. Thank you. Some question to go a little deeper. So we discover some things that we are really interested about. So the first question that we want to ask you is, can you share an example of a time when your drive for personal growth led you to take on a challenging project? And another question that is connected, how did your attention to detail and openness to new ideas contribute to your success in achieving that goal?
Okay. So when I worked in my first Switzerland-based job, I stayed for 13 years, and like I said before, I felt that at the end of that, I wasn't really learning so much anymore. And the longer you stay, the more you feel that questions that you already heard in the past, they kind of come up again. So I took this challenge of joining a company that was in a difficult situation and decided to try and help them out on their IT infrastructure, which was extremely complex and had grown organically for 16 years without any direction. Now, I would say that really upskilled my IT capacities, and it was nice in that way. I mean, it was really difficult work, but I think my approach was to try and speak with as many stakeholders as possible to really understand what is it that's in place. Now, this could be difficult in a company where many people have already left because they were not doing so well. But yeah, I tried to do as much groundwork as possible before making changes. And I think overall that was successful. But yeah, you got to do the work before you start executing.
Did you find the idea on your own, or did you discuss with people that gave you ideas? Or
in this case here, I had a IT team around me that I really used a lot to get new ideas, or to basically to hear their ideas instead of pushing my own ideas. I think that's super important in a sort of teamwork environment, that you make it safe for everybody to bring their ideas out in the open so we can discuss. And in fact, in my experience, the best ideas is usually a combination of different ideas, not just my ideas. I enjoy that kind of teamwork, but you got to create the setting where people are willing to share what they think. And with IT people, this could be somewhat tricky because a lot of them just don't talk much. So you got to build some sort of trust with the team, and I think I managed to do that over time. It's not automatic. You got to put in the hours and get to know people. But I think the results will be much better. Yeah.
Okay, great. And I think that's a perfect transition for the second question. What we want to ask you, how do you handle working in a team when new ideas or changes come up? Can you share how you balance contributing your own ideas with being open to other suggestions? Can you elaborate? You already answer a little bit, but...
Yeah, so I hope that the people on my team are great experts in their different areas and that they have better ideas than me. If I'm the person with the best idea, I'm not going to push it forward immediately. I'd rather hear what everybody's got to say. I can share one experience where I got an IT team together in London, and we spent 2 days discussing a problem. And in fact, I didn't have a solution for the problem, but during those 2 days, everybody kind of opened up, and I think the combination of these little ideas that people came with actually created a new strategy for us. And because of the way that happened, everybody making a contribution, the final result was that everybody was really motivated and interested in implementing this new solution that we found.
Today, if you have a project manager or a director in front of you and he comes with the question, what is your added value in the professional world? What can you say about that?
So I think my added value is partly this wide experience between making software, understanding infrastructure, running support teams, and then having this passion for financial markets. But I mean, many people will have this kind of profile. I think what makes me slightly different is that working in these startup environments, it tends to be hands-on, even though some of the startups could be hundreds of people and maybe less hands-on. In the smaller companies, you will have to be involved yourself. It's not just building a strategy and doing some planning. You actually have to get involved with the execution yourself. And I think that does bring a little bit of extra expertise and knowledge about what it is that you're doing. It also gains respect among the team members, which could be useful. In addition to that, I would say another advantage that I have is this quite broad international experience. I've lived in 3 or 4 different countries for quite long periods, maybe about 10 years in each place. So that's given me an insight to different cultures. And maybe from that, I've been quite successful within each company to be the middleman between very technical people and very senior people. And they tend to speak very different languages. And sometimes you need somebody in the middle who can translate. And that I think I've done many, many times, and I quite enjoy that as well. So I think that sort of combination of all these factors is somewhat unusual. That's probably my main value.
Now it's time for our assessment. We were able to identify Stefan's profile thanks to a test designed and realized by Opsys360 to assess how he functions in a professional environment. Stefan is a professional strongly motivated by personal growth, goal achievement, and continuous self-improvement. He thrives in challenging environments that push his limits and offer opportunities for advancement and development. His ambition is a key driver of his performance. Stefan is also comfortable with innovation and change. He adapts well to new situations and he is eager to explore fresh ideas and approaches. That makes him versatile and open to change. At the collaborative level, Stefan is capable of expressing his opinions and taking charge when necessary, but he does so without being overly dominant. He is therefore able to remain attentive to the points of view of others, which makes him effective both as part of a team and as an independent decision maker. When change is needed, Stefan can maintain a level of order and structure while navigating change. This combination of ambition, adaptability, and precision makes him highly effective in roles that require both strategic thinking and attention to detail. The Vocatio episode on Stefan is now over, but Stefan's career continues. If you have been intrigued by his profile and think he will be a good fit for your challenges, don't hesitate to contact us at contact@opsys360.ch.